I've kind of broken this down into 4 categories, and in every one of these categories, you're going to find a common thing as I try to keep this simple. I try not to overcomplicate things because there is 1,000 of these things on the market. I mean, just jigs alone can be so confusing. In my boat, as far as jigs, I carry 3 colors and pretty much 3 sizes. From 3/8, half, and 5/8 are pretty much my go-to jigs. With the 1/2 ounce being, I never go fishing without a 1/2 ounce jig. This is my signature jig. It's just a good all-around flipping jig. There's several things to consider in a jig. Weed guard angle, the head shape, the hook, whether you like to thread a trailer up on there. I will go to a 3/4 and 1 ounce jig if I'm fishing vegetation sometimes. But as I was saying, the tungsten weights and hooks and all that's gotten so efficient now, it's taken that part of my game away a little bit. I'm leaning more towards the tungsten and the punch skirt now, like this, if I want a big profile over a big jig. But there's not a bad time or a bad place to fish one of these. It'll work from, like I said, coast to coast. And I still believe that there's not a better bait to catch a big bass than this right here. That's as basic as you can get. Trailers. Well, let me talk about colors too on my jig. I got black and blue, and I do have a color called Golden Craw. I won Ross Barnett the Open there on a Golden Craw, which is just green pumpkin. Black and blue and green pumpkin, that's all that I carry pretty much. The trailers are real simple too. This is a sapphire blue. I carry black with blue flake and green pumpkin. I carry 4 different kinds of trailers. This is a Big Salty. It's my #1. That's about as base as you can get. It looks like an old Uncle Josh #1. But I do love this over the pork. I heard they're discontinuing pork. I found that out the other day. So if you guys like to use pork, better go get some. But the Zoom Big Salty, I think the advantage of that particular trailer is the width of it. So if you picture that bait falling down and a big bass sucking it in, when he opens his gills and flares his gills, this big fat part of this makes him inhale that whole jig. I think that's why I feel like it's better than like another kind of trailer. It's just this is real big and bulky. It obviously resembles a crawfish or a bluegill. I think there's a lot more fish bite jig that think it's a bluegill than most people think. Most people relate jigs to crawfish, but bluegills are crawfish. You know, green pumpkin, black and blue, sapphire blue. The different times I would use that, black and blue is hard to beat anytime. Clear water, I'd tend to go towards the green pumpkin shades. Dirty water, the black and blue. And dirty, sunny conditions, I love the sapphire blue. It's real basic rules that I go by. Other trailers that I carry the super chunks. I like the little one and the big one. I tend to like the big super chunks in grass that if it's really thick, they tend to fall through the cover better than this because this is so wide it kind of gets hung up. This is really, I love this around wood. The super chunks I'll use something more around grass. And the Super Chunk Junior for me, I pair it with the 3/8. And for me, it's more of a finesse style presentation. Say a Lake Norman, a lake that doesn't have a lot of big fish is when I would prefer the lighter jig and smaller profile bait.
And the information Bass University provides isn't your basic run-of-the-mill fishing video. This is specific information from A to Z to help you learn, get to the water, and become a better angler quickly.